So welcome back to Money with Joe. In today's video, we're going to be going over should you go to college. What do you think, Kermit?
I'm actually Sean.
Oh,
I am Kermit the Frog.
I think
that is me. I am Kermit.
I have the wrong guy here. We're gonna have to ask you to move, sir.
Oh man.
So yeah, today we're gonna be reacting to a video made by Cracked. You know, we got to listen to the Cracked guys on YouTube about should you go to college or not. So
I actually like this series.
This is
a lot. This is a really good series.
I know. We need to do it with everybody.
Yes.
Got Best in Class. We got the Die Trickster and maybe Tai the Jedi to be included. Many of you guys know this guy, and most of my fans are from this guy. So he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah.
I'm a swell guy.
Yeah, he's very swell. He's wearing a Kermit shirt, but you know, there's a green screen in the background.
No, this isn't a green screen. This is your penthouse.
Right,
what are you talking
I'm
about
sorry.
with all the money from Money Man Joe?
I'm exposing myself here. So the first question I kind of wanted to go over was your personal experience. I know you said you kind of like crammed studying the ACT test and trying to get into college. What was your kind of experience getting into that?
Into college or doing the ACT?
Yeah, well, doing the ACT and just like your journey, kind of where you started. In
so
general.
I was terrible in high school. I was actually like, reason being, I actually used to do really good in high school up till about freshman, sophomore year, and then I got on like a lot of medication for ADHD, and that kind of like bogged down my mental ability to do stuff. So I wasn't doing the best. I went from like a 3.8 GPA to like a 1.4.
Amen.
And so I studied for the ACT because I knew that was like my parents were pushing going to college so much, and I actually wanted to go to college. It seemed like a fun experience that I wanted to do. And so I studied a lot for it. I knew the ACT was hard. It was a very long test, too. It was like, a few hours. And because I was doing so bad in high school, I got extra time on my test. I literally got as much, they said as much time as I needed on the ACT when everybody else had a time limit.
How long did you take?
Probably about 6 hours.
Wow.
So, I really wanted to be sure I got them all right. I was on a couple Adderall, got a couple Monster energy drinks. I was cracked. As the channel that we're watching today.
The channel, yes, the Cracked guys.
I did pretty good. I think I got like a 30 or a 31 or something like that. And I did so good that my parents didn't believe that was my score.
Dang, that's good.
From what I remember. I remember a couple people thought I cheated at school. And I didn't. I just got lucky, I feel like. And I also got 6 hours on the ACT when everybody else got like 2. Dang. So...
So then ending towards your like senior year, what were your plans to kind of go to college and your ideology of like what college was?
I still plan, even though I barely passed high school, I still planned on gliding into college using my amazing ACT scores. So, found out that my ACT scores were a couple months expired by the time I applied to go to college because I decided to take a break right after high school to focus on doing like YouTube and other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go to college. And I went in. They're like, oh, yeah, your scores expired like 2 months ago. And I'm like, they expire?
I didn't know they expired either.
They expire?
Wow. Yeah, I never personally even applied for college or even like towards the beginning in like sophomore year, I was like, yeah, I really want to go to college, as it was implanted into many people's brains that college is necessary to be successful in life.
Oh, yeah, it was like if you don't go to college, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, no, that was the ideology that they kind of just implanted into many people's heads, and even people that are in college still believe that. And
right.
This video that we're watching is kind of breaking that down and, pulling back the page of what the real vision of college is and like, just the whole scheme of it.
Yeah. After I'd left, after my scores were not valid to get me into like a real university, I went to a community college just to try to see if I still wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I went for 3 semesters, failed all 3 semesters.
Jeez.
And I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to do YouTube.
Look where we are now.
Look where I am.
Woohoo. All right, guys, let's get into the video here. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these series and including more of our roommates as well. So we'll be reacting to a lot of financial type videos and going over those things.
I would highly recommend getting YouTube Premium. It earns YouTubers more money per view, even though there's no ads.
Earn us money,
and you don't have to watch ads.
Earn us money. Get my watch time up. Leave my videos running 24/7. Thanks.
I wouldn't recommend doing that.
All right, let's get into this video.
College. You've been told your whole life that it's the next logical and natural step after high school. And you've also been told that it is prohibitively expensive. College is one of the biggest investments of your lifetime, so it deserves your careful consideration and strategy. What you decide now will have a tremendous impact on your future, so think about it. or you can just trust that I have your best interests in mind.
Gotta trust
Hi,
them,
I'm...
man.
Hang on, real quick, I just want to reassure everybody that it was like ingrained, at least in the Midwest, it was ingrained in your mind that if you did not go to college, you would not succeed at life at all. Doesn't matter if you went to a trade school, whatever. You won't succeed unless you got that bachelor's.
Yeah, and even in like a big city like Arizona, it's just like ingrained into your head.
Big city like Phoenix. Arizona's a state, sir.
Oh my God! Wow!
Oh, see, I didn't know that. You know, me and my
This
real
is
estate.
what happens when you don't go to college.
Exactly, guys. Go to college. Get educated.
Some guy. Here at Horton's Student Loans, we'll help you with the funding you need for your college's largely arbitrary price tag without worrying you with interest or credit
Man, I wish
ratings,
I could've
so
gone
you
to
can
a dorm.
focus on the
know, those
important
are,
things,
pretty cool looking,
like
but
making sure you
got
don't
this
have
house
any
now, so,
classes
I mean, I think
before
this-
11 a.m. and that your dorm room is decorated in a way that will impress your high school self and embarrass your
Yes.
future real self.
Very embarrassing.
You'll hate them in 5 years.
It's tasteful.
You don't know anything about anything.
Look at my Orlando posters.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of the classes you could and should take will be economics, which will surely teach you in intricate detail about how you've been screwed here. Lots of stuff about inflation-adjusted pay increases.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so high school doesn't teach you like anything really for like preparing for the real life. They teach you like the very bare necessity. And then all of a sudden you go in, they let you commit to a $100,000 debt. Hey, when
yeah.
you're 18 years old and you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, they say like, oh, you don't have to pay it until you graduate, and then you like
That's
stuck.
so far away.
And then you get a $15 an hour job, and then you're just stuck, you know,
Yeah,
working
you know how $15 an hour will pay
Oh,
for that $100,000 debt?
easily. Yeah, you can $15 an
Only,
hour.
what, 20, 25 years?
Yeah, that's like $120,000 a year, right? Easily. You can easily pay anything off. It wasn't until like senior year that I realized like how much stuff you can do to make money online or any other like way to make money online. You got trade school, but you really have to stay motivated and you have to have the drive to actually get the money and not go to if you don't go to college.
Well, even with YouTube, you have to have that drive,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
YouTube's not easy. People think
anything.
YouTube's easy. It's like, it is in some aspects, but even if you have the best idea, you got to be consistent. You got to be always being creative. You're your own boss. And if you're used to working for somebody else like I was for so long, and then you transition into being a YouTuber where you work for yourself and you're the only one who has to motivate yourself, that's hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's so hard. Even with real estate, you got that same like knowledge of people will just go into it like, oh, you just got to show some houses and you get paid that much money. There is so much work that goes into it. Let me just tell you guys, you have so many contracts to write up. There are so many things behind the scenes that you just don't see in a job that you don't have to go to college for. But you just have to have the drive. So let's continue with the video.
Only makes sense in the abstract sense because we've carefully designed the modern college experience to insulate you from real financial responsibility as much as possible. Everything about college is designed to trick you into thinking you're an adult when really it's closer to adult training wheels, or to put it more bluntly, bull to keep children safe. Your one student loan.
When did you like finally start learning about like taxes and like how the real world actually worked?
When I got a job and then tax season came around, my mom's like, hey, you got to pay taxes. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and when I was like 16, 17, my dad filed my taxes for me, and then I finally started doing it. I was like, what are all these questions for? Like,
Oh
what
my
is any
God,
of this?
doing YouTube taxes sucks. When
I
you don't
bet.
have another company doing it for you, you
Yeah.
got to do it all yourself. It's stressful.
Jeez, yeah, I know. And then people in college, you know, they have their parents paying for everything, doing everything for them, and then they finally get released into the real world, and they're like, all right, you have to pay this stuff, and they're just like,
Oh, by the way, you owe $200,000 for that college
Yeah.
you just went to that taught you almost nothing.
oh, it's amazing. All right.
Which you won't have to start paying or even look at until you graduate, covers your housing and most
earlier.
of your...
No, when I leave college,
So you won't need to learn how to budget for these fundamental human necessities until you graduate, can't get a job, and your parents start charging you for both.
no, when I leave
Yeah?
college, I'll
Exactly
have
what
a
I
high-paying
said.
job. I mean, that's what you're paying for when you go to school. You're buying a degree that makes you qualified for a good job.
Well, that's what I've certainly convinced you is true. In reality,
It's so true. It's like, you know, you go into it and you're like, all right, well, I got a college degree. I can get like the best job in the world. And then you get to it and they're like, all right, we'll get you a starting pay, you know, $15 an hour. How does that sound?
Bro, when I went to go start applying for jobs before I started doing YouTube full time, it was so my mind was blown by like how the minimum requirements for like it was all entry level
Mm-hmm.
positions because I'm not going to be a doctor or anything.
Yep.
Like I just wanted the bare minimum stuff. And just to get like salary or something, bare minimum entry level job required a master's degree to make a minimum wage.
Wow.
So you're telling me I need to go to 8 years of college to make minimum wage?
Yeah, that is. I don't know about that one, man.
Yeah. No, that even like all the way back then, I'm just scratching my head. I'm like, this doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, there was like a thing on like Indeed or something, and it said like this like really like master degree thing. You get paid $15 an hour, and now we're talks about getting minimum wage to $15 an hour. So somebody flipping burgers at McDonald's is getting paid the same as somebody who has a master's degree.
Yeah, that sucks.
So yeah, inflation. It's a great thing, and yeah, let's continue with the video.
National student loan debt is at $1.2 trillion.
That's a
This
low
was
number.
3 years ago, so you better bet that's
That's like gotta be doubled at least.
Easily.
Which translates to a whole lot of fancy graduates who don't have jobs that can actually pay back the loans we forced them to take out.
Next part is
But
really
it's
good.
possible. I mean, both of my parents went to college, and they're not in debt anymore.
Don't bother asking them for advice. When they were in college, they could pay for it with a summer job. That'd only
For
be
real.
possible today if your summer job was being Elon Musk.
That's so great. Yeah, no, even in the comments, you see people that like were in college around like the 90s, and they could pay for it easily within like 1 year of working. And now it's just like, 40 grand, 100 grand. It's like,
Back in
jeez.
my day, I could just pay for college by going to a school in summer. It's like, yeah, back then college was actually fairly priced. Now
Right,
it's like
exactly.
you have to be making 6 figures a year to not be broke
An
with a
exchange,
degree.
my buddy, an exchange student from Sweden, they actually pay them to go to college. So in different countries, you'll see in the comments, you're like, man, I'm glad I wasn't born in America. It's like, when do you hear that? Except for like when you're going to college and stuff.
Getting paid to go to college, could you imagine?
Jeez. Well, no, it was actually they pay them to go to high school. It's like a couple $100s a month or whatever. They pay them to go to high school.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Wait, what?
Please, yeah, eventually nobody's gonna like want to go to college because they're gonna realize, oh, hey, I can just start an OnlyFans and make $10 million a year, or play some video games on
Yep.
YouTube or stream and make 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, as opposed to going to school for 8 years,
Yeah.
being $200,000 in debt, and then having a chance at getting a good job.
Exactly.
No, I don't want to get paid to go to school.
So obviously we need careers like doctors.
we do, yes.
And,
They do need degrees, absolutely.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I think we kind of can change as society on how we school people.
Yeah.
There's just so much bulk in there that nobody needs, and it's just a bunch of crap, honestly.
Imagine being a doctor with no degree. Somebody's performing a
gosh.
brain surgery on you, and
No.
you're like following a YouTube tutorial.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
That's where you do need to have
Yeah.
a degree.
Reality is that it's almost impossible to make student debt disappear, even if you go bankrupt.
Yeah, no, you actually can't. If you file for bankruptcy, student loan debt is not forgiven. So it's like, why is that the only debt that's not forgiven? And this
That's
actually
so
goes into more depth. It's like,
Well, Joey, companies got to steal money somehow,
that's right. And they got to put it into hedge funds and only give
Yes.
it back like 20% of the worth.
and then get upset when we try to blow past their headphones with like GameStop, and
yeah.
AMC.
Man, this is just a crazy world that we
Yeah.
live in, right? Go to college, It's a great time.
I still don't know how I managed to pull that one off.
Are there loan companies that are
Exports
better
amazing.
that I can choose from?
No. The government decides what companies you borrow from, and then your debt can actually be sold multiple times to different organizations beyond your control, and they can do whatever they want with your debt.
Hey, I just bought your debt. And I'm gifting you the opportunity to put off paying for 6 whole months. As a side effect, you'll be paying for literally 50 years, but hey, time is money, right? That's
right.
I wouldn't know. I didn't go to college, seemed expensive. My dad gave me this job. Bye.
Dad
Of
gave
course,
him
it's
a job.
not like this
Literally
money's
me.
wasted.
Did it
It
go to
goes
college?
right
realized
into the
school
school's
wasn't it?
endowment, which is used to pay for things like tuition assistance and fellowships, but mostly to play the stock market. In 2014, Yale's
That's what I was talking about.
$26 billion endowment made almost $500 million in hedge funds and put just under $200 million of that towards its actual students. So your tuition dollars
Yep.
are making America's 1% rich even before.
That's what they do even with like giving money to the airlines when the pandemic hit. They were out of so many jobs and they needed like billions of dollars to even stay afloat. And the government would throw them $200 billion and they would give them a share of their company for in exchange for that. So it's like the government's just constantly looking at ways to obviously get money because we need to get out of debt. But thinking about that, $500 million, you made it up a hedge fund and you only put $200 million of that into education. What's going on here?
Did you see that F-35 Raptor thing the other day where it's like
No.
the failed F-35 Raptor program cost us like $2 trillion or whatever it was?
Gosh.
And, yeah, you know, we got to have our fighter jets.
Oh, yeah. No,
For
there's
all those things that we do with fighter jets.
the World War III that's happening right
Not
now.
like we have missiles that can
Yeah.
literally work in place of those fighter jets. What do we... Come on. We need to fix our infrastructure, pay our education system, and fix this country first.
Fix climate change.
Yes.
Holy
there
cow.
are more important things than $2 trillion worth of F-35 fighter jets that don't even work.
Dude, that's so important, though. Look at the cool, fighter pilots in the sky.
Then what would we have? We wouldn't have anything flying over football stadiums at the beginning of games.
Oh, yeah. Waste all that money on
Yeah.
the fuel. What are we doing, We need that stuff.
Graduate. Hey, you're not so unprepared for the real world after all.
Have it, folks.
There you have it.
That's the video. So
That's,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
a lot of
really,
truths.
yeah. Wrapping it up, we do need certain people like doctors.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you don't have a specific career that you're going after, I really don't see a need to go to college. There are many ways to make money online. Like I said, you just need to have that drive.
To back it up, I do think that there are definitely a lot of fields that do require degrees. Doctors, lawyers, scientists, things where you need years of research to be good. You can't just jump into the field. But yeah, like he said, if you don't have an idea, which I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do, I was just going to get like general stuff. I realized like this is just a waste of time and money because I don't even know what I want to do. I've known some people that waste 4 years. They pay to go for 4 years of school. And then they get their degree and they're like, well, actually, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then they go back and do a different one. And now they have 2 loan debts.
Oh, yeah. No, my sister did that. She changed up in her first year what she wanted to do, and then she just gave up halfway through. Now she's on 2 student loan debts and is still paying it back, obviously. So it's like, how do you expect people to do this? This is
what it all comes down to, we need teachers. We need doctors. We need scientists. We need construction workers. We need everything. I think we do need to reform it to where we, pay teachers more because nobody wants to be a teacher if you have to do it. Being a teacher is stressful. You know how many those little kids are just being rude to you all day and just not being pleasant to be around, and they get paid like $40,000 a year.
Oh, it's terrible.
But I think that we need to make it more fair to encourage people to do more important jobs and pay people appropriately. But if you want to make a lot of money in life, obviously don't be a teacher.
Yeah.
But if you want to help the society, help kids, be a teacher.
Exactly.
Just be realistic, and if you want to make a lot of money, you got to be driven. You got to go into a field that will make you money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. An interesting fact, actually, Elon Musk and a couple of his friends actually have their own school that they created, and their kids decide what they want to learn, and they learn off of
That's
like
cool.
YouTube videos and just so many videos online that's free education.
That's
and
cool.
you don't have to pay like $850 for a textbook because all that information is on Google, YouTube videos, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can educate yourself and not have a diploma there. But, I mean, it's just you got to have the drive. You got to stay focused. And if you want to make the money.
Even if you want to be like a teacher or something, there are ways that when you're not making a lot of money to make more money, like stocks. Good investing. Save your money. Don't blow it on stupid stuff. Still treat yourself, but don't blow it on stupid stuff. As somebody who has blown money on stupid stuff, I mean, granted, they work for videos,
right.
and for your guys' entertainment, but save your money. It's a lot better. You can invest your money, literally make free money. So there are ways to do it. You just got to be smart. Sometimes it'll take longer than other people.
Yeah, honestly, when do you think that our education system is going to change? And I guess
definitely in our lifetime. It'll change drastically.
Within a couple decades, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because honestly, people are starting to realize on how messed up this whole system is and how it needs to change. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, that kind of wraps up the video, Sean. Thank you so much for being on this.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure with Money Man Joe.
Oh, yes. Great
Go
times.
subscribe, like the video, subscribe to this guy if you aren't already subscribed.
Oh, yes. We'll include more of our roommates like
Yes.
Best in Class, the Die Trickster, and Tai the Jedi if we can
Absolutely.
fit him on this tiny desk because it only fits 2.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Yeah. We'll get a whole podcast set up. We'll start
Yeah.
doing podcasts about finance, lots of other topics. All right, guys. Until next time.